Good morning, everybody. Joe Tallari here with Metro Heating and Cooling, and it's that time of the year. Everyone had all winter long to think about all their springtime projects, and it's finally arrived. I bring you here. We are in Altoona, Iowa, in a basement finish, and I just kind of wanted to bring up some things on the heating and cooling side of what you want to be looking out for, whether you're using us or another contractor. These videos are here to inform you, the homeowner. Three things you always want to think about on basement finishes that most people understand are: you got your supplies, you have your returns, and then if you're adding a bathroom down to the basement, you want to vent those bathrooms out to the outside of the house. So right now I'm going to kind of show you what those look like and how they can be done. So it's always beneficial in a house to have a plan. Where do you want your bedrooms to be? Where do you want your bathrooms to be? What's your great room area? Different TV locations. Everything comes into effect when finishing your basement. So here in this basement, we are going to be putting, there's 2 bedrooms and 1 bathroom. And as of right now, they're going to be, you have a bearing wall here that could be a future bedroom, but they just want one big open area as of now. So as a heating contractor, I'm going to go ahead and think about long term, and I'm going to want to act as if maybe when these homeowners move out and another family moves in, they might want to turn that into a bedroom. So as a heating contractor, I'm going to treat that as a bedroom, regardless of its current use right now. So you always want 1 supply and 1 return per bedroom. So you want to supply a bedroom with comfortable air, and then you want to take the stale air out from that room. So as you see here, there's a return air grill that will be sucked up the wall into the panning. We notch that wall out, and it goes down to the panning and then into the ductwork, and the ductwork will travel all the way back down to the furnace, where the stale air will be conditioned. It'll come back out, the supply air here, coming down into a 6-inch pipe, and then be redistributed into the basement. We like to put registers over all windows if we can. The reasoning for this is because windows have the least R value. And so when those cold temperatures in the wintertime or the summertime, it's easier to infiltrate windows than it is a concrete wall that is also insulated. So those are how we do the supplies and returns in the bedrooms. Another fine detail that we at Metro do is electricians. Like, we're usually here before the electricians. So what they're going to want to do is they're going to want to put all their receptacle outlets along the bottom side. So what typically they do is they come in and then they start drilling holes through all of these joists. Well, the last thing that we want them to do is be able to put a Romex through our cold air return. The reason why I don't like that is because typically they drill a hole about that big for a wire about the size of my pinky. So what we do is we end up capping the bottom of the return here so that when they run their electrical wires, they can come through, and then down, and then go underneath of our returns, and then back up again. So just a little bit finer of a detail just to keep air leakage at a minimum and to keep the Romex out of our returns. Romex also puts off a gas if it were to ever smolder or catch fire. And the last thing that you want hazardous gas to be is in a cold air return, because the first thing it does, it gets sucked into the furnace and then distributed throughout the rest of your house. So if you can, always leave electrical wires out of your cold air returns. Now let's get into the bathrooms. Right here is where the bathroom is going to be located at. We always going to want to put a exhaust fan over the shower. So as you can see here, we're going to run a 4-inch R4 insulated flex pipe that will be hooked up in the floor joist to an exhaust fan. And then we're going to want to exhaust that to the outside of the house. Now, let's get into the finer detail of a bath fan. When we cut our holes out the side, let's crawl up here real quick. As you can see, we have the air will be exhausted inside the pipe. But as you can see, we have an air gap around that. We do not want to ignore that air gap, because what could potentially happen, even though you're putting in, let's go over to the bay next to it, see how there's bad insulation like that? Air leakage, bad insulation does not seal air leakage. All that is an insulator. So when we get our heavy winds or the super cold days, that air will penetrate through there and then start to condensate and then potentially mold in the future and rot that wood out. So what we're gonna do is we wanna get go to Menards, go wherever you want to. We have our own spray gun that we're actually going to seal that up with, and then we'll put the batt insulation back around. So you'll have it nice and air sealed. It'll be nice and air sealed, and then we want to insulate that microlam again. Another fine detail, as you can see, a lot of the basements already have supply registers or supply ducts in the basement, but they're very minimal and they're not really taking into account of what the basement finish is. So one thing you always want to do is don't trust their measurements in the new construction form. I hate to say, but the new construction, those guys are paid to get in and out of houses really, really fast. The details aren't really always there. What I'm gonna do is come around here with my tape measure, and I'm gonna measure off the wall where those registers are. And the reason why I'm doing that is when I come over here to the edge of my wall and look down, I want all of my registers to be perfectly in line. The last thing you want is to have this register here, come down here, that register is going to be out here, and then go back down, this one's back in again. So always keep that in mind when you're installing your supply ducts. So those were 3 things that I wanted to kind of go over on when you hire a professional contractor. When they're all said and done, you can kind of go do a walkthrough and check their stuff. So number 1, always want to return in every single room that you have in your basement. 2, you want to supply in every single room in your basement. And 3, vent your bath fans to the outside. The finer detail stuff that not everybody does, we at Metro, it's a common practice, but putting those caps on the bottom of the return so the electricians can go underneath as opposed to going through, measuring out from the wall on your supply ducts to make sure everything is nice and line and sharp looking, and then sealing around the penetrations to the outside, like your bathroom exhaust fan. I hope this helps. Please like, subscribe our Facebook page. If you want to look me up on YouTube for other videos, search Joe Tolari. And I'll see you on the next one. If you like this video, please comment. If you want other videos or you want me to elaborate further depth into other things, please ask me to and I'll get right on it. Until next time, I'll see you guys later. Thanks.